Welcome to Poetry Changes Lives, my book, Poetry, History, and a Thought for the Day, all in one book. Well, today my bit of history covers the famous 17th century poet Andrew Marvell, who was born on this day in 1621. He was one of a bunch of poets at that time who had the ability to speak in a wonderful sort of conversational way. On the other hand, he was a great friend of the poet Milton, John Milton, whose style of poetry was much more sort of epic and almost biblical. His long poems were often designed to be declaimed as if he was speaking to a public meeting. But Andrew Marvell's poetry is much more man to man, or woman to woman, or man to woman conversation, so you can hear the voice of the 17th century in so many of his poems. It was dangerous times in England in the 17th century. King Charles I lost the civil war against the Roundheads led by Oliver Cromwell, and he had his head chopped off for his pains. There followed several years of Commonwealth rule before the monarchy was finally restored to King Charles II in, I think, sometime like 1659. Well, Andrew Marvell, and like many others, had to steer a dangerous course, changing sides when it was politic for him to do so, and he helped his blind poet friend John Milton do the same. Milton at one time was anti-monarchist when Cromwell won the Civil War, and then had to switch back to being monarchist when the king was restored, like so many others. A tricky time. Well, I'm going to read one of Andrew Marvell's poems, which reflects his sort of regard for the difficult times, and it has this air of regret and longing for the times when people weren't always concerned with making war on each other and acting like soldiers, and he uses that as the garden of flowers as a metaphor for an army of soldiers. See what you think of this. I like it a lot. It's called A Garden Written After the Civil War. See how these flowers, as at parade, under their colours stand displayed. Each regiment in order grows, that of the tulip, pink and rose. But when the vigilant patrol of stars walks around the pole, their leaves, that to the stalks are curled, seem to their staves the ensigns furled. Then, in some flower's beloved hut, each bee a sentinel is shut, and sleeps so too, but if once stirred, she runs you through, nor asks the word. What luckless apple did we taste, to make us mortal, and thee waste? Unhappy, shall we never more that sweet militia restore, when gardens only had their towers, and all the gardens were flowers, when roses only arms might bear, and men did rosy garlands wear? Gosh, I think that's a lovely imagery, and Andrew Marvell is a master of comfortable conversational imagery like that. Today I will work towards the goal of a world free from fear, and that's a lot of work, I can tell you. Thanks for listening.